grew up the youngest of 3 children in an Italian-American family, which meant as soon as I got to high school, Christmas Eve was a practice in avoiding my crazy fucking family. So, my sophomore year of high school, I was best friends with my brother. My brother's 2 years older than me. We did everything together, which mostly included in the wintertime doing donuts in his 1983 Honda Accord, or like listening to jam bands like on the Discman while it was like on my lap so it didn't skip, and we were just like, yeah, let's smoke some cigs, this is awesome, Fish is the best. So that was me and my brother. We did so much together, and Christmas 1995 we were supposed to go to my aunt's house, and my brother's like, yo, Val and I are totally going to go to some friend visits, which totally meant that we were just going to one of his friends' house to smoke cigarettes, and I was going so that I could be cool. So we got in the car, I went to his friend's house. It was avoiding time at my aunt's. It was great. We ended up leaving there. My brother's like, can we stop at the Eckerd Drugs to get some smokes? And I was like, yeah, because that's avoiding aunt's house for just a little bit longer. We get to the parking lot, and we're the only cars there. It was like misty that night. I don't think it was still raining, but it was like wet and damp, and it didn't really feel like Christmas. It just kind of felt like, I don't know, it just felt like this night, and it didn't make any sense that we were at the IGA parking lot next to the Eckerd Drugs, and like everything was closed except, of course, the Eckerd Drugs was lit. And so we went inside and got his cigarettes and came back out to the parking lot, and we went to get in the car, and I opened the car door and stepped in and went to close the door. And when I went to close the door, I looked down at the ground and I saw it there. On the wet parking lot was this envelope, like one of those bank envelopes, and it was just sitting there in the parking lot. I looked around and no one was there, and I picked it up, and I got in the car and I shut the door and I said, Joe, like, look what I found. He grabs it out of my hand, because he's my older brother, you know, so. He opens it up and he dumps it into his hand, and he's looking at it and he starts counting it. It's like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 50. It's $250 in cash. No receipt, nothing. Nothing on the envelope. We had no idea where it came from. So we sat there, we looked around in the parking lot, we looked for cars, we looked everywhere, we just kept on looking. And he just sat there, and I was like, Joe, it's Christmas Eve, this is someone's money, we gotta do something about it. He's like, he looks around, he gets out of the car, he looks around the parking lot, he gets back in the car, he looks at me and he goes, this is what we're gonna do. Counts out $100, hands it to me, puts another $100 in his pocket, holds up the $50 and goes, this we take to charity. And I was like, okay. It's Christmas Eve, charity, got it. So I was trying to think about what we could do, and I totally figured it out. And so I was like, I got it, let's go, I know where we're going. So I directed him in the only place that I knew where I could bring charity on Christmas Eve. And as we drove towards the Golden Arches were still well lit, even though the restaurant itself had been blacked out for Christmas Eve. And we drove around to the drive-thru like we were going to pick up some nuggets. And below the drive-thru window, just like I remember, is that box, the like Ronald McDonald House box, where you can go and like put donations. So we like shove the money in there, and we're like looking around to see if anyone can see us. And we like take off out of the parking lot like thieves, because we're like, ah, someone's gonna find out. So we're like, we go back towards my aunt's house, and then I was like, now I started like having anxiety attacks. Like, I'm like, this is not right, it's someone's money, it's Christmas Eve, I feel like we're ruining someone's Christmas. And my brother's like, oh, whatever. So I was like, turn around and go back to the parking lot. So I made my brother go back to the parking lot. And this rainy night, you can hear like the raindrops, like the percussion of the raindrops on the top of the like Honda Accord. We're just sitting in this parking lot, and we're the only 2 people there in this one car, just waiting around if anyone shows up looking for this money. And no one ever came. So we drove out the parking lot, went to my crazy aunt's house, and we made a promise to each other that we would each take a little bit more of that money and give it to our own charity in whatever way that we wanted to. And that money sat in my jewelry box. And I finally took $25 and put it back in that Ronald McDonald House bucket, because apparently I had no other charity. And $75 sat in my jewelry box for like 6 months until I ran out of money for cigarettes, because my brother was away for a week that summer. So that was my Italian Catholic guilt mixed with a little charity and a little bit of love for my bro, because he did tell us that we had to give some of that gift away, that gift from the universe. So thank you.
I'm going to give you